Jeanine Pirro is an American television host and author, and is also a former judge, prosecutor, and politician in the state of New York. Pirro was elected as a judge of the Westchester County Court in 1990. In 1993, she was elected to the position of Westchester County District Attorney. Born June 2, 1951, age 73 years, Elmira, New York, United States. Spouse, Albert Pirro, M. 1975 to 2013. Nominations: Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Drama Series Directing Team, Seymour. Children: Christy Pirro, Alexander Pirro. Nationality: American. Height: 1.63 meters. Parents: Esther Ferris, Nasser Ferris. Jeanine Pirro, net worth $85 million. Early life. Jeanine Ferris was born and raised in Elmira, New York, the daughter of Lebanese-American parents, which means she is an Arab-American. Her father was a mobile home salesman, and her mother was a department store model who spent much of her childhood in Beirut. Her parents were Maronite Catholics. Pirro knew she wanted to be an attorney from the age of 6. She graduated from Notre Dame High School in Elmira in 3 years, interning in the Chemung County District Attorney's Office during her time in high school. Pirro then graduated with a Bachelor of Arts from the University at Buffalo. She received her J.D. degree at Albany Law School in 1975, where she was an editor of the Law Review. Westchester County Law career. Assistant District Attorney. In 1975, District Attorney Carl Vergari appointed Pirro to the position of Assistant District Attorney of Westchester County in New York State, where she began her career by writing appeals and handling minor cases. In 1977, Pirro approached Vergari and requested that he apply for a federal grant for local district attorneys' offices to establish bureaus that specialized in domestic violence. She hoped that Vergari would take advantage of potential funding, as well as a 1977 change in New York law that moved many domestic violence cases from family court to criminal court. Vergari agreed to apply for the grant, and his office became one of 4 in the nation to win the grant. In 1978, he appointed Pirro to be the first chief of the new Domestic Violence and Child Abuse Bureau. Pirro was known to be an aggressive bureau chief. Due to possible coercion, she had a strict policy against dropping cases at a victim's request. On multiple occasions, Vergari spoke to Pirro concerning her violation of office policy. She had issued press releases with her own name, and not Vergari's, on top. The relationship between Pirro and Vergari disintegrated in the late 1980s, after Pirro claimed sole responsibility for the establishment of the Domestic Violence and Child Abuse Bureau. On June 1, 1990, just 5 months prior to Pirro's first appearance on the ballot for county court judge, she attracted widespread attention for rushing to conduct a bedside investigation of Maria Amaya at the intensive care unit of United Hospital in Port Chester. Amaya had been charged with 4 counts of second-degree murder for the deaths of her 4 children. She was a 36-year-old immigrant from El Salvador who had a history of being hospitalized for mental issues. Amaya had killed the 4 children and attempted suicide, believing that they were being corrupted by drugs and sex. While recognized for her prosecution of domestic violence, Pirro was criticized for her relative prosecutorial absence in bringing charges involving major public corruption or organized crime. These criticisms intensified when Pirro's husband was later convicted of several felonies tied to organized crime, including tax evasion and conspiracy. One would have to believe that there's no organized crime in Westchester County, not a single corrupt official, and every union in this county is as clean as the driven snow, according to William I. Ehrenwald, who headed the federal organized crime strike force during the 1970s. During an abortive 1986 campaign for lieutenant governor of New York, Pirro boasted to have never lost a case in about 50 trials. This number was disputed when presented in 2005 to colleagues, who said that the real number of trials personally handled by Pirro wasn't more than 10. Pirro's then spokesman, Anne-Marie Corballis, contended only that Pirro had a 100% felony conviction rate as an assistant district attorney. Personal life. Pirro has 2 children with her former spouse Albert. Following their marriage, they moved to Harrison, New York, where Pirro began working as assistant district attorney and her husband began work as a lobbyist. Later in their marriage, but before their children were born, Albert was accused of fathering a daughter by a Florida woman he termed as extortionate and mentally unstable. After his denials and extensive court proceedings, DNA testing confirmed him as the father, and he was ordered to begin child support payments in 1998. In 1997, People magazine named her one of its 50 most beautiful people. On February 23, 1999, Pirro's husband was indicted on 1 count of conspiracy, 4 counts of tax evasion, and 28 counts of filing a false tax return for hiding over $1 million in personal income as business expenses between 1988 and 1997. That day, Pirro appeared with her husband at a press conference in response to the charges, criticizing the investigation as invasive and hostile. On June 23, 2000, a jury found Pirro's husband guilty of 23 of the charges brought against him and not guilty of 10 others. He served 17 months in prison, being released early for good behavior and participating in an alcoholism treatment program. In the midst of the trial, Jeanine Pirro had attacked the prosecution for bringing up matters which involved her, calling it a desperate attempt by them to bring me into this wherever they can. Albert Pirro was pardoned by President Donald Trump on January 20, 2021, shortly before Trump left office. As a result of their tumultuous relationship, Pirro and her husband separated in 2007, with their divorce being finalized in 2013. In November 2017, Pirro was charged with speeding for driving 119 miles per hour in upstate New York. In July 2019, Pirro was named to the board of directors of the cannabis company Heavenly RX, which manufactures CBD products. Said Pirro, "My interest in CBD stems from a curiosity after hearing people say how much they benefited from CBD. Initially a skeptic, I now understand there are tremendous benefits outside the assembly line of traditional medical and pharmaceutical dictates." Pirro revealed in her 2018 book, Liars, Leakers and Liberals, the case against the anti-Trump conspiracy, that she was diagnosed with cancer in 2012. She is a practicing Catholic.